Hi, Jane Garapick here. A while back, I reconnected with a friend of mine from my single dating days. Back then, she and I were always searching for Mr. Right together, and we spent so much time discussing the men we were dating, and we analyzed every one of our various relationships. Now, this woman is beautiful. She's talented, she's funny, she's super hip, and she's a lot of fun to be around. She's now in her late 40s, and she's also single. Reconnecting with her really got me thinking about the idea of being picky and not settling for less than you want. You see, we both had our lists, not necessarily written lists, although I had various versions of written lists over the years, but we always carried with us in our minds subconscious lists of our must-haves that were the driving force behind deciding whether or not to get involved with a particular guy in the first place. And at the top of our lists were always things that were superficial. Things like height. So both of our guys had to be over 6 feet. Weight. I liked slim. She preferred more brawny. Hair color. Mine was dark. Hers blonde. How attractive he was. How stylish. How confident. How athletic. What kind of car he drove. And on and on. You get the idea. We knew that we were being really, really picky. And we felt that we deserved to be. After all, we were looking for a partner for life. So he had to be exactly what we wanted, right? We always held out for our ideal. Guys who were tall, dark, handsome, dressed very well, made a lot of money, drove expensive cars, and the ones that were extremely charming. But these same guys, interestingly enough, and not coincidentally, they were also the ones who wouldn't call us when they said they were going to. They'd stand us up, and then they'd have a dozen excuses for it. They'd call us up at the last minute to get together. They'd leave us hanging for days, wondering when are they going to call, only to call later on their terms. And they would often wind up telling us that, oops, they were involved with someone else. Never mind that they would think nothing of the broken heart that they would leave us with when they dropped us in a heartbeat as soon as someone that they thought was better came along. And we put up with it because we thought that they were everything we wanted in a guy. They met our lists. We thought we were being so picky, but it turns out, actually, we weren't even being picky enough. See, I finally realized that the entire time we were busy being so picky about these surface things that we thought were so important that we were actually settling for so much less than our ideal when it came to the things that really mattered. Like how he treated us. Like how honest he was, like how ethical, how dependable and trustworthy he was, like how good of a potential husband and father he would make one day down the road, because that's what we were looking for at the time. As I recalled, our many combined dating horror stories, and they were horror stories, and the many subsequent conversations we had analyzing and overanalyzing everything about the guys involved, what he said or didn't say, what he did or what he didn't do, I realized where my own turning point was. It was when a much older and wiser and happily married friend, after listening to my heartbreaking stories of yet another devastating breakup with a guy that I had placed so much hope on being the one at the time, it was when this friend said to me, think about the qualities that you want in the father of your future children and look for a guy who meets that criteria instead. See, she knew me better than I knew myself, and she recognized what I couldn't see at the time. That what was really most important to me was finding a man that I could create a family with, one that would support me in being the great mother that I longed to be, and that would compliment me by being the equally good father that he wanted to be. It was then that I finally started to evaluate what I really wanted in a partner, and I shifted my perspective to see more clearly those qualities that actually did matter so much to me. I had been so focused on what I was supposed to want and what everyone expected me to focus on that I had missed focusing on what would really make me happy in the long term. And it turns out I hadn't been picky enough about what really mattered to me because I didn't even realize what those things were. Bottom line, if you find yourself with your own slew of must-haves or an ever-growing list of what you want and don't want in a guy, take a good hard look at what's on that list and see if you're being picky about the right things. Think about what your ideal relationship looks like, how you're treated in that same relationship, how you feel when you're with that person, how anxious you are, how much of the time, and what the entire point of being in a relationship means to you. Then think about whether each of those things on your list will help you get to that ideal relationship. Because if not, it's time to rethink your list. So now I want to hear from you. What's on your list of must-haves for a relationship? Share your thoughts, your stories, and your struggles with us below in the comments. I want to hear from you. And as always, if you know of anyone you think this video might help, please let them know about it. Also, remember to click the thumbs up button if you like the video, and also the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, so that you don't miss any of the great new videos I've got coming out for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.